Welcome back. In this video, we'll see how to work on the polybuild tool inside Alteryx. As the name says, you'll be creating some polygons in different formats inside Alteryx. So we use a polybuild tool for that particular purpose. Now, let us see an example. What I've done is, in the previous video, we have seen how to create a points. Then what I've done is, I've just duplicated this particular workflow and I've just kept the same thing over here. That's the truck data, create points and browse. So what I've done is, in the annotation tab, I've just given the name as truck data, create points and the browse tool here. Now what I want is, I want to create a polygon of this data. If you observe here, if I click on the browse tab, I'm just getting a dots over here in the configuration window. These are just pointers. On the left hand side, if you see, these are just dots and pointers because I've taken the latitude and longitude. Suppose if I want to build a polygon like this one, you see connecting all the dots over here, how do I create it? Okay. So to do that, I can just pick up here polybuild tool, drag and drop it after the points option. And here I can also bring the browse tool. So I can right click on that, add a browse after. So that's it. Now what I can do is, I can just click on run button. Nothing has to be done. Just click on run button. When I click on the output anchor, that's the browse tab over here. And you can see all the dots are connected here. These are the outer areas connected. Carefully observe, it has just connected 5 points. If you see, these are 5 points. So all the maximum outer points. The output is only one thing, that's a spatial object. Okay, spatial object here. I'll just click on this drop down and I can select Alteryx Lite as an output here. Now instead of showing the points, if I click on the other browse tool, it tells us that your truck for the next 2 days, it was moving in this particular area, in this polygon. So you can quickly analyze and see the data. Now moving on to next, if I click on this polybuild option on the left hand side in the configuration window, there are different options available. Let's see the first one. If I see the option which is convex hull, that's the first one. If I select sequence polygon, if I click on this option and if I click on run button, let me show you the output here. If you observe here, it will connect all the dots and this is not straightforward. It is connecting the dots over here. Okay. So in order to explain you the difference, what I can do is, I can just move it down. I can right click and copy, right click and paste just to show you the difference here. Connect the input, and for this one, let me give a annotation here as sequence polygon so you'll understand properly. And this one, I will select the option as convex hull, right? And I'll just click on run button. Now please observe, it's a very minor difference but very important. If I click on the browse tab of this convex hull, if you see, this is connected but in a proper manner. If you see, it's a straight line, it's not moving, it's a straight line. It's a straight line everywhere. So the maximum outer borders it has connected. Now if I go to the other place, the sequence polygon, it is not a straight line. It is connecting to every dot. Okay, it is connecting to every dot whichever possible here. So if you see, it's not a straight line, but it is going this way inside and then. Okay, here also it's not a straight line. It's going inside and then coming outside here. So that is what you call sequence polygon. Sometimes you require this kind of sequence polygon and sometimes this kind of convex hull. Depends upon situation. So that's the first thing. Now coming back to the convex hull, what are the other options? I have the source field which is centroid. Now what is source field here? If I click on this create points, if you remember, this centroid will be the source field in both the options here, in the convex hull and in the polygon. That's a sequence polygon. So source field, that means I'm picking up the spatial object. Remember, centroid is the name of a column which is a spatial object. Next one, what do you want? Do you want to group by something? Okay, so let me just move it down. By the way, we have just done 2 of them. Let me copy this, right click and copy and right click and paste just to move it to look it better. Yeah, and I'll try to move this somewhere on the right hand side. So remember, if you want to bring all of them in one line, select all this browse tool, right click and tell them align vertically. Select all of them and then right click and tell them align vertically. That's a quick method here. Now what I can do is, I can just pick up here, I can just connect this on this place, okay, on this particular place here, and in this configuration window everything is done. So what I wanted to show you is third one, that's a sequence polyline. Okay, the first 2 options you have understood. The third one is the sequence polyline. Select that option and if I click on run button, nothing I'll do it, just click on run button, and here in this output option, if you observe, it's not giving a polygon, but it will give you a simple straight line. You see, it's a straight line which is given here. So instead of giving a polygon, that was a line. Why it happened? Because we have selected sequence polyline. Okay, that's the option. Now if I want to group them, okay, let me show you the input here. Now this particular truck has taken 8 stops. If you see, this is about the data about the truck. So first day it has taken 4 stops. Okay. Second day it has taken again 4 stops. Now if I want to club them based on the day number, suppose if a truck wants to go from position A to position B, sometimes it might take 2 days, 5 days, 10 days. So how many days it has taken? This truck has taken 2 days. So what I can do is, if I scroll at the bottom, if I select this option and I want to club them or group them based on the day number. Okay, so every day how much it has traveled, I want to see that. So I'll select day number, and if I click on run button, let me show you the output here. So if you see in the output, I have 2 special objects built. Okay, 1 and 2. If I select the 1 option, okay, if you observe, it has moved from this location to this place. If I click on the second one, and if you observe, this is getting highlighted. So whichever option you select, it will show you the output here. Okay, it's very light, but if you observe, it is showing in 2 days. So per day, how much it has traveled, it is giving the output here, which cities, which location it has taken the stops. So what we have seen, everyone, we have seen about the polybuild tool, and we have seen how it can show the data in 3 different formats. Okay, so let me write here sequence polyline. So we have seen the output into 3 formats. One is the convex hull, one is the sequence polygon, and sequence polyline option. Okay, so that's it, and I hope everyone you have understood about the polybuild tool inside Alteryx. That's all for this video.